Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadha Shivasti Gaura Bhakta Binda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadha Shivasti Gaura Bhakta Binda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadha Shivasti Gaura Bhakta Binda.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today is Thursday. It is 12th of June, and it is the new month. It is called Ashada Masa or Vamana Masa. And the Krishna Paksham, the first day, it is a Pajami or Pratipat. So from the events perspective, so today is the disappearance of Shyamananda Prabhu. So we shall try to read a few lines about Shyamananda Prabhu. Yes, Shri Shyamananda Prabhu, it is a disappearance day, so from iskandiscity.com, so just read a few lines about it. Those who know the associates of Shri Gauranga to be eternally liberated souls will attain their place by the side of the son of the king of Raja. Shri Shyamananda Prabhu, Shri Nivasacharya, and Shri Narottama Das Thakura were the internal associates of Shri Gauranga, Gaurasundara. They incarnated in this world in order to spread the teachings of Sri Gaurakrishna after his departure from it. Sri Shyamananda made his appearance at Utkala in the village of Darendra Bahadurpur. His father's name was Sri Krishna Mandal and his mother's name was Sri Durika. Sri Krishna Mandal, who descended in the line of Shadgopas, had many sons and daughters who unfortunately passed away before the birth of his son. For this reason, this son was named Dukliya. Everyone said that this child would be very highly souled, saintly person. On the full moon day of the month of Chaitra, he has taken his birth at a very auspicious moment by the mercy of Lord Jagannatha. It is as though Lord Jagannath has personally brought him here in order to propagate his teachings, and therefore he is personally maintaining him. He looks just like a new cupid. One's eyes and mind are soothed just to look upon him. As time passed, the purificated rites, his first taking of grains, tonsure, or the hair cutting ceremony, and the rites for beginning of his education were performed one after another. The scholars were astounded to see his profound intellect. Within a short period, he completed his studies of grammar, poetry, and rhetoric. When he heard of the glories of Sri Gauranityananda from the Vaishnavas of his village, a very deep attachment to their lotus feet developed in him. Sri Krishna Mandal was himself a very advanced devotee. Seeing that his son was always absorbed in thinking of Gauranityananda, he told him that he should be initiated into the divine mantra. The boy replied, Shri Hriday Chaitanya is my guru. He is at Ambika Kalna. His guru is his Gauridasa Pandita. The two brothers, Shri Gauranityananda, are eternally present in his house. If you give your permission, I will proceed to there to become his disciple. His father asked, But Dukiya, how will you get there? Father, there are many people from here who go there to bathe in the Ganges. I will go with them. His father deliberated for a great while on this matter, and after going so, he finally gave his permission. Thus, Dukiya set out for Gauda Desha. Gradually, he came to Navadvipa, then Santipur, and finally Ambika Kalna, where he inquired from the local people where he might find the house of Gauridasa Pandita. Outside the gate of the Mandira, he fell down and offered his dandavats. Shri Hridaya Chaitanya happened to be passing by at this time. Hridaya Chaitanya Prabhu looked at him for a few moments and then asked, Who are you? Dukya replied, I have come to serve your lotus feet. My home is Dharendra Bahadurpur. I was born in the caste of Red Gopas. My father's name is Shri Krishna Mandala. My name is Dukiya. Shri Hridaya Chaitanya was very pleased by his sweet speech. He told the boy, "From now your name is Krishnadas. Since early this morning I was feeling that someone would come today." Shri Krishnadas began his service with great devotion, and on an auspicious day, his guru initiated him into divine mantra. Shri Hridaya Chaitanya could see that his new disciple was extremely intelligent and at the same time very devoted. So he ordered him to go to Vrindavana to study the literatures of the under tutelage of Srila Jiva Goswami. Shri Krishnadas bowed his head in assent, and on an auspicious day he set out for the holy Dhamma. At the time of his departure, his guru gave him many instructions and conveyed through his disciple his obeisances to the lotus feet of the Goswamis of Vrindavan. Duki Krishna Das first came to Navadvipa after inquiring from someone as to the whereabouts of Sri Jagannath Mishra Bhavan. He came there and went inside. Seeing Sri Ishana Thakura, he fell down and offered his obeisances. Ishana Thakura then asked him who he was. And so the boy introduced himself. Ishan Thakura blessed him, and he remained there that day. The next day he set out for Madura with a party of pilgrims. Upon coming to Gaya Dham, he took off the lotus feet of Sri Vishnu there. He remembered Mahaprabhu's leela of accepting initiation from Sri Ishwarpuri here and became overwhelmed in ecstatic love. From Gaya, he came to Kasi Dham, where he met with Tapana Mishra, Chandrasekhara, and other devotees, and offered his salutations to their lotus feet. They in turn blessed him. He finally entered Madhura Dhama after taking bath at Vishrama Ghata. He took darshan of Sri Adikeshava and rolled on the ground in the dust of the birthplace of Shri Krishna. From here, he proceeded towards Vrindavana, where, after learning whereabouts of Srila Jiva Goswami, he offered his obeisances to the lotus feet of that great Acharya. After being asked, he introduced himself with full particulars. Gurudeva was committed me to your charge. His petition to your divine grace is, I am entrusting Dukhi Krishnadas to your care. Please fulfill his mind's desire and send him back to me after some time. Srila Jiva Goswami was extremely happy to receive Dukhi Krishnadasa into his care. Krishnadasa was very carefully began to serve Jiva Goswami as well as study the literatures of Goswamis. Srinivasacharya and Narottama Das Thakur also came to Shri Jiva at this time to study under him. Thus, Krishnadas and had opportunity to meet them. Krishnadas requested Shri Jiva Goswami for a special service. Shri Jiva instructed him to sweep the forest grove of Seva Kunja every day. From that day, he began to carry out this service with great pleasure. He felt that his life had become successful as he swept tears flowed from his eyes. Sometimes he would loudly chant the names of Shri Radha Govinda, and sometimes he would become inert while remembering their pastimes. Sometimes he would put the broom, which was full of dust, on his head. Even Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva prayed to receive a little this dust of Vrindavana on their heads. The Lord of Vrindavana and his consort were very pleased with the service of Krishnadas, and they desired to grant him their darshan. One day, while Krishnadas was cleaning the kunja, his heart filled with love. Just then he happened to notice a very beautiful ankle bracelet lying in the dust. He picked it up, touched it to his head, and then bound it in the corner of his upper cloth. I will give it to whomever it belongs to when they come to look for it, he thought. Next morning, they were quite shocked when they noticed that Srimati Radharani's left ankle bracelet was missing. Radharani explained, last night when I was dancing in the kunja, it must have fallen off. Please look for it and bring it back to me, whoever finds it. When the gopis came to search for the bracelet, Vishaka Devi noticed that Krishnadas was sweeping the grove. She asked him, have you found an ankle bracelet here? Dukhi Krishnadasa was so mesmerized by her sweet words and radiant form, which was like that of a demigoddess descended from heaven, that he simply started at her dumbfounded again and again. Again, she asked him, have you found an ankle bracelet here? Dukhi Krishna made obeisances and humbly replied, yes, I found it. Who are you? I'm a coward girl. Where do you stay? In this village. Is it your ankle bracelet? No, it's not mine. It belongs to a new bride in our house. How did it get here? She came here yesterday to pick flowers and it must have fallen off then. All right, then please tell her she can come and collect it from me. No, you can just give it to me. No, I want to give it to her personally. After a few moments, Vishaka Devi returned with Srimati Radha Thakurani, who stood in the shade at the foot of a large tree. Vishaka called out to Krishnadas, Bhakta, the person who lost her ankle bracelet has come to receive it. Dukhi Krishnadas was completely forgot himself while gazing, even though it was from some distance, at the unparalleled brilliant splendor of Sri Nandi, Rushabhanu Nandini. In great joy, he handed ankle bracelet to Vishaka. At this point, Dukhi Krishnadasa could sense that something very profound was about to take place. His eyes filled with tears and he fell down on the ground to offer his obeisances. In great ecstasy, he rolled in the dust. Vishaka then told him, O best of the devotees, our Saki wants to give you a benediction to express her gratitude. Dukhi Krishnadasa saw the holy waters of Radha Kunda before him. After offering his obeisances, he immersed himself in her waters. Thus he attained transcendently beautiful feminine form. Coming out of the sacred Kunda, he stood before Vishaka Devi and offered prayers. Taking his forest Saki by the hand, Vishak approached Srimati Radha Thakurani and the new Saki fell down at her lotus feet. Then Srimati Radharani decorated her forehead with tilaka using the ankle bracelet and the kumkum of her lotus feet. This tilak will remain on your forehead. From today, you will be known as Shamananda. Now you can go. After she said this, Srimati Radha Thakurani and her Sakis were no longer to be seen. Dukhi Krishnadasa's trance broke and he found himself as before alone and in his male body, yet with the tilaka applied by Srimati Radharani still on his forehead. Being overwhelmed with emotion, he repeated over and over, what have I seen? What have I seen? While tears of ecstasy rolled down his cheeks. Okay, so this is the further beautiful pastime is with Shyamanand Prabhu. So that Prabhu, that name was given by Radharani personally. Okay, so that is about it. That is today is the that auspicious disappearance of Sri Shyamananda Prabhu. Okay, so we shall quickly move on to our daily Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevayam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevayam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevayam. Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Buddha was speaking to Vidura and Krishna Katha, describing different pastimes of the Lord's activities. So yesterday he was mentioning about the Krishna wanted to establish Yudhishthira as the king of this entire world. So evam sankincha Bhagavan swarajye stapya dharmajam nandayamasa suhridaha sadhunam vatma darshayan. So here sadhunam vatma darshayan. It is the path of piety. Sadhunam vatma darshanam. So when the pious king is ruling the kingdom, then so that is the ideal of administration and the path of piety. So likewise, Krishna was very pleased with that activity, and then later on, just diverting Uddhava speaking about the how Parikshit was protected when he was burnt by the astra of Ashwadhama. And then Uttara, Shiva, when she was running towards Krishna for the protection, and the Lord has entered into the womb of Uttara, and Krishna has protected the embryo within the womb of Uttara. Okay, so likewise, Uttara is the wife of Abhimanyu and father of Parikshit. Okay, likewise, Uddhava is saying another pastime. We are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, chapter 3, and verse number 17. Uttaraayam dritaha puroho vamshaha sadhu abhimanyunam savaidhaunyastra samplushtaha punarbhagavata dritaha. Uttarayam dritaha puroho. Uttarayam is the unto the Uttara. Dritaha conceived. Uttara conceived. Puroho, a child who is the descendant of the Puru. So it is the Pururava. So there are descendants of in the Puru dynasty. There are names are Puru is there. And then Uttarayam Dritaha Puru Vamshaha, the descendant of Puru. Sadhu Abhimanyuna, and by the hero Abhimanyu. Sadhu Abhimanyuna. Uttarayam Dutaha Puroho Vamshaha Sadhu Abhimanyuna. Savai Drauni Astra Samplushtaha. And that Savai, that baby in the womb of Uttara, the child, Drauni Samplushtaha, and he was burned by the weapon of Drauni, the son of Drona. Parikshit was burnt by the weapon of Drauni. And then Punar Bhagavata Advritaha, and again the child was revived, child was protected. Punar Bhagavata, that is Punaha, again for the second time, Bhagavata by the personality of Godhead, Drita, this is was protected. The child was protected. Likewise, Uddhava is remembering the pastime of Krishna, how he has protected. Uttarayam Dutaha Puroho Vamshaha Sadhu Abhimanyuna Savai Drauni Astra Samplushtaha Punar Bhagavata Dhutaha. It's a translation for this shloka. The embryo of Puru's descendant begotten by the great hero Abhimanyu in the womb of Uttara, his wife, was burnt by the weapon of the son of Drona, but later he was again protected by the Lord. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Can I request any unallocated devotee to read this purport, please?
Hare Krishna, Praveen, right? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna, will you recite it today?
Yes, Mataji, please read.
Summary, Prabhu? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
The embryonic body of Pariksit, which was in formation after Uttara's pregnancy by Abhimanyu, the great hero, was burned by the Brahmastra of Aswathama. But a second body was given by the Lord womb, and thus the descendant of Puru was saved. This incident is the direct proof that the body and the living entity, the spiritual spark, are different. When the living entity takes shelter in the womb of a woman through the injection of the semen of a man, there is an emulsification of the man's and woman's discharges, and thus a body is formed the size of a pea, gradually developing into a complete body. But if the developing em- embryo is destroyed in some way or other, the living entity has to take shelter in another body or in the womb of another woman. The particular living entity who was selected to be the descendant of Maharaj Puru or the Pandavas was not an ordinary living entity, and by the superior will of the Lord, he was destined to be the successor to Maharaj Yudhishthira. Therefore, when Ashwatthama destroyed the embryo of Maharaj Parikshit, the Lord, by his own internal potency, entered into the womb of Uttara by his plenary portion, just to give audience to the would-be Maharaj Parikshit, who was in great danger. By his appearance within the womb, the Lord encouraged the child and gave him complete protection in a new body by his omnipotency. By his power of omnipresence, he was present both inside and outside of Uttara and other members of the Pandava family. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji. So this is a very beautiful verse. Here there is again Uttara was coming to Krishna. Krishna Mahabahu Bhaktanam. So this is Arjuna as well. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is described. I think so it comes to Krishna like Pahi Pahi Mahayogin Deva Deva Jagatpate Namnyam Twadhavayam Pasyayatra Mrutyuho Parasparam. So when Dronacharya's son Ashwadhama, so he used it to protect himself from Arjuna and Krishna when they were trying to capture him. So he was fear of his life. At that time, he used the Brahmastra to kill all the Pandavas and inclusive of Apandavim. So, and inclusive of his children and descendants and everyone else. So Krishna was outside so he was he was about to leave to the Dwaraka and Pandavas are giving send off to him. So during that time, and as the Brahmastra is coming towards the Pandavas, so Krishna, there was not much time for the Pandavas. So even though they were trying to take what is happening, so but Krishna has protected outside all the Pandavas, and also in the womb during the same time, Uttara was also running towards Krishna. Pahi Pahi Mahayogin Deva Deva Jagatpate Nanyam Tadhavayam Pasyatra Mrityuho Parasparam. And oh Krishna, you are the only personality where the Mrityu takes place, death in this world, which is the Mrityuho Parasparam in the world of duality. Only you can protect. So immediately Krishna entered into the womb of Uttara with size of the tip of the womb. Angusta matram amalam purata maulinam apivya darshanam shamam taridvasam achyutam Srimad Dirga Chaturbahum Tatta Kanchana Kundalam Charijaksham Gadapanim Atmanaha Taruto Drusham Paribhramantamulkabham Brahmayantam Gadamuhu. So likewise, he entered into the womb of Uttara and protected Parikshit Maharaj. So here in this context, so Uddhava is mentioning that that embryo was Savaidraunyasa Samplushtaha. It was burnt. That embryo was burnt. Again, Krishna gave the new body. And Krishna gave new body to the Parikshit. So here, embryo body of Parikshit, which was information after Uttara's pregnancy, that is burned by the Brahmastra of the Ashwadhama. So this is again respecting the Brahmastra. And later on, but a second body was given by the Lord within the womb, and the descendant of Puru was saved. So this Parikshit, when we observe in this material world, we are born of this material world with the material body, material conception that we belong to this material world, but we do not belong to this material world. When we gain that knowledge, and then we act in that transcendental platform. So that kind of examination one has to understand. That is what real reflection should be. So here Krishna protects that particular reflection here. If we just go into the tattva, so just understand in that way. But of course, here what is happening here further, this incident is the direct proof that the body and the living entity and the spiritual spark are different. When the living entity takes shelter in the womb of a woman through the injection of the semen of men, there is an emulsification of man's and women's discharges. So karmana daiva netrena jantuhu dehu upapattaye sriyaha pravishtabadharam pumsam retah kanashriyaha. The living entity takes the shelter of pumsaha retah kanashriyaha. Retah, that is the semen. It takes the shelter of the semen, and sriyaha pravishtabadharam entered into the womb of the mother, striya. And then it will develop. Kalalam tu ekaratrena pancharatrena budbudam dashahena tu karkanduhu pasya pesendham va tato param. So in the first night, what happens? Kalalam tu ekaratrena. So that semen it mix with the egg, and in the fifth day, budbudam pancharatrena budbudam, and it will become like a little bubble in the like a pea size. That is the fifth night. And the 10th night, Dasahenatu Karkanduhu, and the 10th day it will be just like a berry size, little bit bigger. And then Pesendam Vatatah Param, and then gradually that it will develop. That the body is formed the size of pig, gradually developing into complete body. And the second month and third month, in the third month, the second month, these nails and Nakaloma, Germany, those things, and the third month, and also second month, Bahu, Angri, so they will be formed. The hands and legs will be formed in the second month. Third month is the nails and the skin, Nakulomasti Charmani, and then fourth month, the holes, then Navadvaras, they will form in such a way gradually. That boy, it will, a boy or girl, the baby, it will develop in the womb of the mother. And then it will stays in the Matuhu jagdha annapanadhyaihi etadhatuhu asammate. Etadhatuhu asammate. That embryo, it falls in the etadhatuhu asammate, in the filthy place. Sete bin mutrayor ghatte, and falls in the stool and urine in the womb of the mother. Sajantuhu jantu sambhave, and that place of the in the mother's womb, that place where these germs also born out of the womb of mother. It is also called sahodara. Germs are called brothers of the baby because they are also born out of the same womb of the mother. Saha budara. Okay, but it is this is again this etat dhatuhu asammate. It is a filthy place. Likewise, etat dhatuhu asammate. Kapila Bhagavan explains that one. So in such a way, the baby develops there. But if the developing embryo is destroyed in the way or other, the living entity has to take shelter in another body or in the womb of another woman. So that is the process. If there is no place, if we are given a home and if the home is destroyed, we need to take another home to enter into. Likewise, that Pumsaharetah Kanashriyaha, the living entity takes another womb of a mother. And the particular living entity who was selected to be the descendant of Maharaja Puru or the Pandavas was not an ordinary living entity, and by the superior will of the Lord, he was destined to be the successor to Maharaja Yudhishthira. Therefore, when Ashodhama destroyed the embryo of Maharaja Parikshit, the Lord, by his own internal potency, entered into the womb of Uttara by his plenary portion, just to give audience to the would-be Maharaja Parikshit, who was in great danger. So this is very important. Whenever there is a great descendants in the great dynasties, they will preserve that lineage. without destroying. So here Krishna wanted to protect the lineage of the Puru Vamsha and descendant of Maharaja Yudhishthira. So when he was in the danger. So dharma, it should be established. And by the appearance within the womb, the Lord encouraged the child and gave him complete protection in a new body by his omnipotency. Actually, as Parikshit was burned, his actual name was Vishnuratha. He was protected by Vishnu, so his name was Vishnuratha. But after, as soon as he sees the Lord in the womb, and always, who is this personality so effulgent? And then once he came out of the womb of mother, he was observing all over the world. Is this the person I have seen in the womb of my mother? Likewise, that's why he was called Parikshit. So one that is the तस्मादहं विगतविक्लौ उद्धरिष्य आत्मानुमासः तमसः सुहृदात्मनैव भूयो यथा व्यसनं एतद् अनेकरन्ध्रं मामे भविष्यति उपसादितः विष्णुपादः. See that baby in the womb, he prays that, oh my dear Lord, I have been entering into the womb of so many mothers, but enough is enough. Now I wanted to take the shelter of your lotus feet. तस्मादहं विगतविक्लव उद्धरिष्य आत्मानमासु तमसः सुहृदात्मनैव. You are the suhrud. You are the suhrud. So bhuyo yata vyasanam, the bad habit of entering into the womb of so many mothers. Bhuyah, this is kind of a vyasanam, bad habit. And Vishnupadaha, and I would let me take the shelter of your lotus feet. Likewise, that is the prayer. And here, Parikshit, as soon as he came out of the womb of mother, he was examining, this is the person, Vishnu, looking for Vishnupadaha. So likewise, Parikshit was always observing, but living entity has to search for that real absolute truth. Okay, so here Krishna gave that protection by his omnipotency. And here, by his power of omnipotence, he was present both inside and outside of Uttara and other members of the Pandava family. Namasi Purusham Twadhmeshwaram Prakute Param Alaksham Sarabhotanam Antar Bahir Avasitam. Kunti Mata prayers is of the first shloka. Antar Bahir Avasitam. He says inside and also outside. Inside and outside of the Uttara. Antar Bahir Avasitam. So likewise, Kunti Mata prayers starts with around 25 shlokas. It's first shloka. Kunti Mata prays to Krishna like that by glorifying his omnipotence. Okay, likewise here, Uddhava is remembering that pastime. Uttarayam dritaha puroho vamshaha sadhu abhimanyuna savidhaunyastra samplashtaha punar bhagavata dritaha. And again, the Parikshit was protected by the Lord. Okay, so that is from Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Okay, so we shall move to Srila Prabhupada's letter. So today letter to Haimavati, August 23rd, 1970, Tokyo. It's a tiny letter. Can I request any another unallocated devotee to read this letter, please? I shall read it then. My dear Haimavati, please accept my blessings. I have already acknowledged your letter dated August 13th, 1970, along with my last reply. I am very glad to learn that you will be walking very soon, but walking or no walking, you are always engaged in Krishna service. That is my confidence. I am very glad that Hamsadatta has gone to New Vrindavana, and I have requested every one of governing board commission members to formulate a solid program for advancing Krishna consciousness movement all over the world. I am feeling well here, better than Los Angeles, and on the 29th August, we are starting for Calcutta. The address is as follows. 37/1 Hindustan Road and Balilganj, Calcutta 29. Certainly I shall call you for the whole Sankirtana party soon. as you are quite fit to walk. I hope that Tamal Krishna will correspond with you and your husband in this connection. Your ever well wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. P.S. I have heard the tape, which is this is full of transcendental feelings. Thanks. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, say letter, small letter. Any comments on this letter, dear devotees, you wanted to share? Okay, so in this letter, Prabhupada is addressing that Haimavati Mataji has sent a letter to Prabhupada, and then she was met with an accident, or she could not move during those days. So, and Prabhupada was, and still she was chanting and putting, like, I am not wasting any time, I'm drawing pictures, nice pictures, and always chanting and doing so many things in the devotional service. And then when that letter contains all those descriptions, Prabhupada was very pleased. Either Haimavati was walking or no walking, Mataji was always engaged in Krishna service. And then that is appreciating that one. And also just addressing Hamsidatta Prabhu, is Mataji's husband, that he might have gone, has gone to New Vrindavan and requested everyone of governing GBC members to formulate a solid program for spreading Krishna consciousness movement. Okay, so that is a few points here. And about Prabhupada's feeling there, in that this one is coming from the Tokyo, Japan. So there, weather may be good. So Prabhupada is just mentioning that. Okay, so later on, when there is a World Sankirtana party, Tamal Krishna Prabhu was going to correspond with Haimavati Mataji to call, and if Mataji is able to walk during that time. Okay, so that is just a information encouraging the devotees. Okay, that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. And from the announcements point of view, so today is Krishna book reading at 8 p.m. with Shyam Guriwara Prabhuji. Okay, so that is our upcoming event, and coming Saturday, it is going to be the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Okay, so Hare Krishna, Devashish Prabhuji, do you have any speakers?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I haven't spoken to anyone. If you want, I'll let you know.
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you.
Very well. Hare Krishna.
Okay, so that is from updates point of view from my side. And devotees, if you have got any other updates or you wanted to share anything on Krishna consciousness, kindly share. Otherwise, we shall conclude and continue with further chapter. Okay. Panchakalpatarubhyasya कृपासिन्धुभ्यः च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। Hare Krishna consciously everyone.